Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I am taking the 2015 Tesla Model S 70 on the Boomerang Challenge. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, I'm sitting in the 2015 Tesla Model S 70, not 70D, 70, and I'm currently charging up to 100%. And as you all know, I hardly recommend that, but for this test, I do start at 100%. Maybe we'll leave it 99. We'll see how long it takes to get to the top of the pack. But anyways, I wanted to go over the rules of the Boomerang Challenge. So if you've watched any of the other two Boomerang challenges where I take the ID.4 and the Kona, you already know there aren't many rules, but there is one rule, and it is stay on I-95 as long as possible. A bunch of people say you can get to Raleigh a lot faster if you go another way. I know I can, but I-95 is a corridor that a lot of people travel on, so I just want to kind of keep tabs on, how quick can one travel down I-95. And then I chose to go to Raleigh because I like Raleigh. And not that I really have much time to do anything there because I basically go there and leave, but whatever. So I stay on I-95 and then I cut across to Raleigh and then I boomerang back. Now, usually I start at the Electrify America station at Target in Owings Mills, Maryland. But today I'll be starting at the Wawa in Towson, Maryland. And that's because I'm in a Tesla and I'm in a 2015 Tesla Model S and I don't have the CCS retrofit. So I cannot charge at Electrify America. Otherwise, I would have started there. So I am at the closest Supercharger here in Towson. I ran the numbers. It's basically to the point where I'd get on the highway. It's a 2-minute difference. So it's 2 minutes further away from here. So what I'll do in the end is I'll subtract 4 minutes, to and fro. And that we'll see what the time will be with that. Aside from that, there aren't many rules. Obviously, this is a real world test. And so there's going to be a lot of variables that I don't have control over. Just, going with the flow of traffic. Obviously, on the way back when I get to DC, I always hit traffic. So I am allowed to go either way of the DC Beltway to get back to my destination. That is fair, whichever way has less traffic. And that's pretty much it. So once I hit 100% or 99%, I will catch up with you all and I'll kind of go over the game plan. All right, everyone. So we are getting close to that 100% so that we can leave. Here is kind of the plan. So we're up here in Towson. We're actually not going to go that way. We're going to go the other way around the Beltway. So we're going to go this way because there's a toll this way and I don't want to pay that. Then we'll come down here and then hop on 95, go all the way down here through Richmond into Petersburg. And that's, I think, going to be our first leg. It says we'll arrive with 15% state of charge. If I'm being really honest with you, I don't know how things are going to go as far as efficiency is concerned. I'm thinking, so this is my last little leg here. I was trying to drive closest to the speeds that I'll be on the trip, and this said 281. So I've been, with all my calculations, I've been calling it 300 watt hours per mile. But when we get up to speed, we'll see what this number actually ends up looking like. So as long as it's nothing crazy, I am going to go without climate to kind of maximize for this trip. There is no specific rule about that. Whatever I want to do so that I can optimize. It is 193 miles away. And this car, when new, has like a 220 mile range. So I think it has about 8% degradation. So this might not happen is what I'm trying to tell everybody. Mathematically, it's gonna be close, but if it doesn't, we can always stop anywhere between Ashland and Petersburg. There's a bunch of options. And by then I'll know whether I'm gonna make it or not. I'm not gonna have to not going to have to risk it too much here. So again, we're getting really close. 95%. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait for 100 or if just leave it 99 because it's pretty much the same. So I will check back in with you when we actually leave on our trip. All right, everybody. So we're at 96%. It's going real slow, 6 kilowatts. I'm not gonna wait that long. It's not worth it. So we're gonna go ahead, unplug here. I might like take my time a little bit, take a picture, do a rate recharge, and then leave. So maybe we'll be at 97 when that happens. But then we're gonna get on our way to Raleigh, North Carolina. I just realized I didn't say that's the destination, Raleigh, and back. Or we know I did say that. Oh well, I'm gonna leave it in because it makes you know how kind of goofy I am. All right, everybody, we are all charged up, 97%. So I did get one more. As you can see, we are limited in regen because of the high state of charge. Here we are. It says we'll ride with 17%. We'll see how that is. Looks like about 3 hours and 10 minutes driving. As soon as it turns to 12, we are going to go. Okay, we are on the way, so I thought I'd take this time to go over my strategy for this particular Boomerang today. So every Boomerang is different depending upon the car, and here we've got a shorter range car with really bad charging, but it is worse than Kona, so but not on the lower end. So this is the strategy. The strategy is I filled it up as much as it could. We're going to the furthest possible supercharger that I feel comfortable going to. And then when we arrive there, we're just going to charge up to no more than 50%, basically enough to get to the next charger, and we're going to charger hop. And we've got to be as strict as possible so that we can save as much time, because the longer we wait to charge this thing, the time starts to add up big, because it really slows down, especially after like 50-60% state of charge. I will link my charge curve video so you can see that, but if I get this down as close to 0 as possible, because my charge curve was like 10 to 80, I should have a little bit better speeds from 0 to 10 to take advantage of, and then get up to 40-50%. We'll just see what the mileage is going. Right now, my past 30 miles, it's saying I've been doing 249 watt hours per mile, which is awesome. I haven't quite gotten to full highway speeds yet, but that will come with time. So like I said, I think I'll end up around that 300 watt hour per mile, but we shall see. Right now, I'm enjoying the efficiency while I can. So that is the strategy. Hopefully it pays off. When we get to Raleigh, it'll be a little weird because the ceremonial turnaround point is an Electrify America station. I'm still going there. So I have to have enough to get to the ceremonial destination and then back to the supercharger on the way back. And I think that's how I want to do it. I don't know if I want to charge when I go in or not. But, I'm sure you'll see how it plays out later, but at this point I'd like to go and then charge on the way back. So here we are. Let's keep going to Raleigh, North Carolina for the Boomerang Challenge. All right, everybody, we are making our final descent here into Petersburg. Really great leg. I'll go over all the stats when we get to the charger and I can focus a little bit better. But yeah, things have been going great. I actually had a little bit of extra energy left, so what I did was I, turned the heat on. I treated myself a little bit, treat yourself, and then I, also was able to go a little bit quicker just to make up a little bit of time, but nothing too crazy, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of it. Yes, thank you. Staying on 95 South. But anyways, So, yep, now we're heading to the Supercharger. I'll get plugged in, show all the stats, and then we will figure out what charger we're going to go to next, because I haven't planned anything. I did look over and get a good idea of what I'd like to do, but we'll have to figure out exactly where I want to go. It's going to be somewhere, I believe we just did almost like 180 miles, so I feel comfortable probably going 90 miles. So maybe somewhere 90 miles away would work out for us. So let's see where that might be. So we arrived with 5% state of charge. Here is my last average watt hours per mile for the last 30 miles, so 298 watt hours per mile, which is good. That was my goal. I was actually well under that the majority of the time. It's 3 a.m. And then let's go over here to trips. And yes, this is incredible. I'm really pleased with that. 192 miles traveled, 54 kilowatt hours of energy used, and 280 watt hour per mile average consumption. So really incredible leg there. Pleased with that. Gonna go ahead, plug in, use the restroom, and then plan our next stop. And everybody, this is actually my first Tesla road trip, and it's been going really well. I know why people speak so highly. And there, plug in, and green, we're charging. Awesome. Let's go in and see what speeds we're getting. Here we are, everybody, pulling 110. That's about what I would have expected, so that's awesome. Definitely not going to charge up to 100%. I think it's still set at. So just gonna go in, use the restroom, and then figure out where we're going next. Here's the plan. We are going to go to Rocky Mount. It looks like some not level 2, some version 2 superchargers, but that's okay because I can't really take advantage of 250 kilowatts anyways. You already saw that we have the max of 110, so I'm going to go ahead, charge up here. Math says looks like 47%, so I'll probably go to 50, and then we'll get on our way. About ready to unplug and go. It says if I leave now, we'll have 4%. I think we'll be good based on my calculations. It'll be close, but I think we'll be good. I was just thinking of some strategy, because you can see now we're at 54%, 44 kilowatts of charging speed. So I think in the future, if I have the option to only charge to 40% and leave, that might be recommended as far as saving time, because it's been a half hour that we've been here, and I could have been to the next charger with a little bit faster speeds instead of this kind of painful slow. So I think I'm gonna unplug here and get going, but I think if I can in the future, I'm gonna try and only charge up to 40% instead of 50%, because 50% wasn't quite enough like I thought it was gonna be for this this chunk here. All right, we're gonna unplug. We're gonna move on 10 minutes earlier than it thinks I should, so that's good. But definitely a little bit longer here than I would have liked. All right, so it's calculated, says 6%, that's good. Hour and 22 minutes, 95 miles. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave trip A, but reset trip B. Here were all the numbers to reset trip B. And let's get on our way. All right, everybody, we made it here to Rocky Mount. This is not a great charger. I'll talk about it in a little bit. But we went 95 miles, 31 kilowatt hours, much higher consumption, but that's okay. Our total trip is 286, 84, 294 watt hours per mile, which is good. We arrive with 4% state of charge here at 4:52 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead, plug in, and get this charge rolling. We're ramping up here. 96 kilowatts. Should get a little bit more here in a second, but that's good enough. All right, everybody, so we're here at a version 2 charging site. I'm charging up fine, which is great. However, there's just like no amenities at night. it's just a bunch of hotels, the Texas Roadhouse, and I think there's an Outback down here. Yeah, an Outback. So during the day, I mean, it's great, but nighttime or really early morning, which is when I'm here, not fantastic. Now probably could you maybe like talk to one of the hotel people and be like, hey, can I use the restroom? Yeah, but that's kind of weird. You shouldn't have to do that, in my opinion, at a charging site. So this site would definitely lose a bunch of points for our charging site review. But whatever. So we got the plan. We're gonna stop here in Knightdale, just before Raleigh, charge up, and then head in, stop, and then we're probably just gonna come right back here, unfortunately, unless maybe there is a charger up here somewhere, so maybe I can make it back up there. We'll see how it goes. This is not the greatest charging site, so I would like to not come back here, but yeah, whatever. And then basically we're gonna make our little checkpoint here. There's a Starbucks, so I'll get some Starbucks, and then we will head on back. So that's the current plan. Theoretically, we could leave right now because we're at 0% state of charge on arrival at that charger, but I'm gonna go ahead, give it maybe, I don't know, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna get going. Definitely as soon as this drops below 60 kilowatts, because that's basically like a kilowatt hour a minute added to the battery pack. So anything less than that would kind of be not great. All right, everybody, we're at 33%, and that is more than enough. We'll get there with 7%, which is fine. So we're gonna go ahead, unplug, and get on our way to a much better charging site. All right, everybody, we made it here to, I believe it's called Knightdale. So 42 miles, nice short little stretch there. There's our consumption. Here's our trip total so far. So we're almost halfway, just have to go to the turnaround point and then we're good. We arrive, let me switch it back to percent. I flip between the miles and percentage. We arrive at 10% state of charge. So we're gonna go ahead and charge up and then get out of here. All right, and we're ramping up. It actually hit 114 for a second, but 108, just what I'd expect. Gonna go find the restroom real quick and then come back. Hopefully I'll be ready to go. All right, everybody, I'm here at the Tesla Supercharger. Plugged in, you saw, got pretty good speeds, can't complain. Gonna charge up to like 50-60%, enough to hopefully get around the sketchy charging site we came from to another one. If not, we'll pop in just for a little bit, enough to get us to greener pastures. So yeah, this is not the greatest site at this time of day, but there's a lot of options, once business hours start to begin. It's like a bunch of restaurants. I think there's a Planet Fitness. Yeah, Planet Fitness. Don't recommend working out unless you want to get a quick workout in. Or I guess if you plug my car in at 0%, it might take an hour, so. So maybe you could do that. But anyways, gonna go ahead, charge up here, like I said, and then get on our way to the turnaround point. All right, everybody, so it looks like, now again, we're not gonna start from here, we're gonna start from more over here, but as long as I charge like 60%, I think we'll have enough to make it. I'll obviously monitor, and if we need to, we can pop in right here, grab a quick splash and dash to get to here without staying at that, not, really undesirable charging location. They should get another one in that area because it is a pretty pivotal point on 95. So whatever. Anyways, gonna charge up and then I'll catch up with you all once I get to the desired state of charge. All right, everybody, we've charged up here to 52%. Gonna go ahead, unplug, and get on the way. As you can see, it's 46 kilowatts, super slow. So if we have to do a quick splash and dash, we will, but hopefully we can make it to that better charging stop. Now on to the turnaround point, and then to continue the Boomerang challenge. All right, everybody, we made it to the turnaround point. I realized I forgot to reset trip B, but that's okay since the last charge will be accurate. So that's that, but this is gonna keep going till we get to our next stop. But this is the turnaround point, 345 miles, and then we're gonna head back. So I'm here at the Glenwood Avenue, Electrify America. This station was notoriously bad, and they upgraded them, as you can see, to the new unit, and they're using, let me see if it's the BTC or the Signet. These are BTC, so that's good, because I think a lot of issues have been with the Signet units, but I can't confirm that if I'm being honest. But anyways, here we are, going to Starbucks, get my food, get my coffee, and get on the way home. Got my coffee, got breakfast, and let's see if we can make it
in 500 feet,
and it thinks we can.
To Glenwood Avenue.
6% left. So we'll see if it changes its mind. I'm going to drive nice and gentle because I'd rather go there than go to the sketchy site. So here we are, 45%. Hopefully go into 6%. That would be ideal. Get nice charge speeds there. Here we go, on to Halifax, North Carolina. Check it in here. I have committed to go into Halifax. So we've got, what's it say? 29 miles to go. The car says 44 miles of range, whatever that means. And we have, it says we'll arrive with 6% state of charge. I'm pretty sure the Tesla navigation incorporates elevation, which is my only concern, because there is a slight elevation gain on the way back up 95, nothing too crazy. So we should be good at 6%. So yeah, I was a little worried. It got down to 4%. I actually dropped my speed, and I've been drafting behind a tractor trailer, but I think now I can kind of go back up to the actual speed limit, and I'll be fine. So I'm gonna do that, and then hopefully we will get on our way. And then one thing I did want to bring up, there is a long shot chance that we can beat the ID.4's time, which would be absolutely incredible because the ID.4 charges faster. But if you if you have watched, if you haven't watched, please be sure to watch it. I'll put a card here. Hopefully I remember to do that. But anyways, if you watched it, I had charging issues at a few places, and that caused me time, and then I hit traffic. So we'll see how it goes today. I'm certainly going to hit traffic when I get to DC. It's just how much traffic am I going to hit? So we're going to find that out eventually. But for now, let's make our way on to Halifax. And if we beat the ID.4, we do. If not, we're definitely going to beat the Kona by, I think, like an hour. So it's going to be good no matter what. Here we go. All right, everybody, we made it. Here is that last trip, 101 miles. 30 kilowatt hours, 293 watt hours per mile. Pretty good. The full trip, 429, 128 kilowatt hours total, 298 watt hours per mile. And we arrived at 2% state of charge. All right, everybody, we're here at the Halifax, North Carolina Tesla Supercharger. Really awesome charge site, actually. It said like 20 chargers, but there's gotta be more. I think they have to be over here or something. I'm not sure where they are, but it says there's more chargers, and this doesn't add up to 20. But anyways, a really great site. Yeah, I'm enjoying the charge. Here we've got one CP250. Let's see if it's working. Let's see if it's working. Oh, yep. But at least all the Tesla Superchargers are, however many of them there are. So I'm gonna go get in the car, and I've got a plan. Not sure if it's gonna pan out, but I'm gonna see if I can make it work. All right, everybody, I thought a little bit. So here's the plan. I'm at 61 kilowatts. I'd like to not be charging here anymore. So I found this one in Chester, Virginia. It says if we leave now, we'd arrive with -5%. So that's not good. Well, the guesstimeter says 80 miles. That says 77 miles. So I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer, enough where I feel comfortable, getting there, and then we're gonna go, and then there we can charge up and do the same kind of 70-80 mile skip to the next charger, which hopefully will be, if my calculations are correct, I think Fredericksburg we can make it to. If not, we'll just have to stay in charge a little bit longer. And if we don't beat the ID.4, we don't, but we're gonna come pretty close, which is gonna prove a big point, which I'll talk about at the end of this video when I do a little bit of a wrap up. All right, it says we'll get there at 0. I've got the guessometer at 94, which actually hasn't been too terrible this whole trip. Oh, now 1%, 77 miles. I say we unplug. Let's get on the road. I don't think we're gonna beat the ID.4, but we're gonna get really close. All right, we're taking a little bit of a detour here. Looks like there's an accident. It's just a little loop around to go up one exit and get around the accident. So shouldn't be too much of a factor. I'm not gonna take any time off because of it. All right, so we're on our little detour here. Definitely not gonna beat the ID.4 now, which is fine. I never thought I was, but there was like a little, that's not true. I thought for a second there might be a chance. I never thought we'd actually do it. And it just didn't pan out. The charging just isn't quite good enough on this. But if this was like a obviously a modern Model S or Model 3 or Model Y, it would obviously beat the ID.4 big time. So let's just see how bad it loses to the ID.4. I think we're gonna beat the Kona for sure. Because I think the Kona was like 13 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. And I think we'll probably finish up around maybe like 12:40, 12:50, maybe 13 hours. So we'll definitely beat the Kona. But we'll see how bad we lose the ID.4 and how well we beat the Kona. So let's wait for a train. Yeah, of course, of all things, now there's a train. And then we'll get on our way. All right, the train has passed. I did decide I am gonna do a deduction. So by my math, I'm gonna do a 6-minute deduction. That includes the train, which is the majority of it, and a little bit of that traffic. So that should pretty much write it to what it would have been if there was no train or accident. Obviously, I like this to be as real world as possible, but the train was like I would have never gone this way if it hadn't been for the accident. So I feel comfortable doing that. So it's a 6-minute deduction, and then on top of that is the 4-minute because of the Supercharger being further away than the typical starting point. So it's a total of a 10-minute deduction. So there we are. Let's get back on the road. Hopefully no more issues except for the traffic that I'm expecting when we get to DC. All right, everybody, we made it here with 3%. 78 miles, 23 kilowatt hours, 300 watt hour per mile, 507 miles total, 151 kilowatt hours, and 298 watt hours per mile. Let's get plugged in. All right, everybody, we're charging up. We're gonna go to Stafford, Virginia. It says right now we're gonna ride with negative 17%, so we've got a little bit of ways to go. Right now we're at 51 miles. And that is 23%. So 23, 16, so 39%. So maybe we'll go to like 42, and then we'll move out of here. We're definitely not, I think 20 minutes is beyond 42. So I noticed that the Tesla likes to be a little conservative in its predictions, but that's not a bad thing. So that people who aren't super savvy or super into arriving at a low state of charge can have a really great experience as well. All right, everybody, we've got to 42% state of charge. It says like 94 miles or whatever. I feel good to go. There's a lot of backups if I need anything. So it says we'll arrive at 1%, 83 miles, have 93 miles. Sounds good to me. All right, let's get on the road. All right, everybody, we made it here. 83 miles, 280 watt hour per mile. That's pretty good. 7 miles remaining, or 3%. There it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in. This is gonna be a quick splash and dash, maybe like 50, 60 miles, and that will get us to the next charger, which will then get us to home. All right, everybody. So here at the, which one is this? The Aquia Harbor Garrisonville Tesla Supercharger. I arrived and it was actually the first one I've been to all day that was completely filled. I waited literally, I don't know, 60 seconds and then a car had left. So it's perfect timing. Now there's, I think, an open stall. So I'm only staying here for about, let's see, I only need 60 miles. So it says 60 miles. I'm at negative 5% now. So I only need that to get to like 0 or 1. And then I can head off and I'm going to the Beltsville. I've been there a bunch. I feel comfortable. It's at another Wawa. This one's at a Wawa. So go there. And then after that charge stop, it is Towson, Towson. And then this Boomerang challenge is done. Definitely going to beat the Kona, but I don't know if we're going to, how far behind we'll be from the ID.4. All right, everybody, we're charged up. It says 68 miles right now. It says we'll get to Beltsville with 5%. It was weird because the miles was not, usually when there's that much percentage there, sorry, let me get the camera. Usually when there's that big a difference in percentage, the miles has a big difference, but there wasn't. So I let it charge a little bit longer than I wanted to. And then there you see we're at 31%. So I'm gonna go ahead, take a picture to do a rate your charge and then unplug and get going. All right, everybody, we made it here. 61 miles, 16 kilowatt hours, 256 watt hours per mile. All right. Arrived with 5%. Now we're going to charge up just a little bit and then get on our way. All right. So here's the plan. We already have enough to get there. But again, the miles weren't matching up. So I'm going to let it go a little bit. And also we're going to go this way around the Beltway instead of this way because you have to pay a toll here. So I'll probably go, I'm at 20% right now, so maybe I'll go to 25, 30%, and then we'll be good to go. Alrighty. All right, everybody, we're charged up to 27%, more than enough to get there. We'll arrive to the Supercharger with 6%, maybe a little less. We'll see how it goes. But let's go wrap up this Boomerang challenge. All right, everybody, so we're making the final way here. We're about 34 miles away from the end of the Boomerang challenge. Hope you all have enjoyed it so far. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of hopes and dreams crushed. I don't know. I really thought the I don't know. I thought we could have, but it just didn't happen. In fact, the way things are looking now, it looks like we're only going to beat the Kona. Yes. On the right toward Baltimore. Yes, thank you. Anyways, it looks like we're only going to beat the Kona by maybe like 5 minutes. So we'll see if maybe that expands a little bit, but we definitely got hit with a lot of traffic. It honestly, it felt like the same amount of traffic we get, in that area, going through DC every time. So I don't think that was as much a factor, but whatever. Definitely the slower charging, the less efficient, caused, it to barely beat the Kona. All right, so just a couple things I wanted to reflect upon on this trip. First off, the Tesla Supercharger network is just amazing. I mean, I was not stressed ever during the trip. There was one time I was about to be. That's not true. 2 times. The first was I didn't think I was gonna have enough range. I had plenty of range, so that was my mistake. And I had plenty to make it to the charger. Which just shows how well placed they are. And then B, I got to the one charger and it was full, and literally 60 seconds or less, someone was gone. I pulled in and plugged in, and so really no issues. And I found, and I don't know if you all found this while I was on this journey, but I was getting more and more confident to take it down to really low state of charge. Why? Because I knew every time I made it to a charger, the charger was going to work and it was going to be there. Whenever I drive a CCS car, and don't get me wrong, I love our ID.4. I love it a lot more than I love this car. But I'm just so nervous that I'm not even going to be able to charge. Or if I can charge, it's going to take me forever to get to charge. And then when I do get to charge, it's going to take forever to charge because the charger's derated. So, I mean, it was just really nice to be able to drive, feel comfortable going down into single digit state of charge so I could get the max charge speed, and then moving on with my life. So that was just incredible, and I think a lot of people are going to begin to enjoy that experience as the Tesla Supercharger network opens up. I have no doubt that there will be some issues as the network opens up, but that's why they are doing a phase in instead of everybody all at once. I think it's a really smart play. They can work on interoperability, which I'm sure they've already been working on with the Magic Dock, so that everyone can have an amazing experience, which no doubt is what Tesla wants of their customers. Something else just with the car that I thought was interesting was when I was in the traffic, I was in a lot of stop and go, and I find that the stop and go and its ability to brake, or even if you're like traffic's moving along and then it comes to a slow, when you're in autopilot, the Tesla's ability to have a really natural slowdown. The Volkswagen was never great at it. Sometimes, in fact, the Volkswagen would be like, yep, you need to brake because I can't brake. And the Tesla does it really well. Regardless of distance or speed, it'll slow it down, which I think is really, really nice. So
watch out,
yeah.
Construction on road ahead.
So yeah, I mean, just a really great road trip. When we get to Towson, I'm gonna get out, go over all the numbers. It looks like I said earlier, barely gonna beat the Kona. And yeah, it was a great trip. The result was technically what I expected. I expected better than the Kona, not as good as the ID.4. That's what I got. Not exactly what I thought, but so is life. I would love to do this again, but with a Model 3 long range. I think that, it would just annihilate the challenge. It would beat the ID.4 probably by an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So yeah, that's hopefully in the future. So all right, well, I will, before I sign off, I'll let me talk back in Towson about all the numbers and that I've now added up for you. All right, park and time, 142. That's right, 142. 5% left. Let's get those beautiful numbers. Here they are. That last leg was 107 miles. Really great efficiency. And the total trip, 698 miles, 203 kilowatt hours used, 291 watt hours per mile, just under 300. Just what I thought it was going to be. Let me go plug in and then let's wrap this thing up. All right, so that's it. Looks like we beat, so it was 142, so it'd be 132 with the 10-minute deduction. So that was 13-hour, 32-minute. Kona was 13-hour, 39-minute. So he beat the Kona by 7 minutes. Crazy. Lost to the ID.4 by like an hour and 10 minutes, I think. So obviously the ID.4 is much better. It's our preferred road tripper. That was fun. I will never do that again with this car. This car, and you also, I just had to end up doing like really quick charges so that I didn't spend a lot of time waiting at chargers. It did save me some time in the end, but definitely not a great. I don't know if y'all can hear the compressor going off. But anyways, I'm gonna talk even louder. But basically, I had to do all the little small things. Definitely not worth it. Not how I would want to road trip. If you have all the time in the world, and I actually know people who have this car and they got all the time in the world, then this is the perfect car for you, because you can sit, you can charge it for an hour, walk around, do a little work, come back, drive another, what did I get in that initial run? 180, 192 miles. But if you're someone who likes to get to where you're gonna go, this is not the car for you. So yes, man, I am so tired. I don't know if y'all can hear me. That's just a long time to be driving and thinking and working and charging and all that. But I hope you all enjoyed it. At least I hope I made it a little bit entertaining. It would have been cool if it beat the ID.4, but didn't even have a chance. I'm definitely gonna try and get a Model 3 long range or something to the tune of that to run on the Boomerang, because I know that would just blow it out of the water. And then obviously when we get the EX30, we're gonna run that bad boy on it as well. So that is pretty much all I have for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I'm going to try and make it not too obnoxiously long of a video, but you've already seen it at this point if you watch this far. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to give a like and a subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you all next time.